So I should turn my stream off so when I get...
Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy. Today, of course, I promised you I would be joined by my support staff, MrBen
Hello.
and TwilightIsMagic.
Moo.
Oh, that's what I forgot. To turn my notification off, the sound. It's always one thing, isn't it?
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
It's another.
One of the unofficial mottos of this show.
It should be just adopted the official motto of this show. You know that, MrBen.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, folks, like I said, I promised him this because it's been 51 episodes. I'm not surprised we're on for that long, but in that same breath, it seems just at the same time hard to believe. By the way, could I get one of you guys to do a lag test for me?
Let's see. Lag test. Going in chat.
But anyway, we've got a lot of things we need to go through. So, gentlemen, shall we get started? 8 seconds. That's an Academy record.
I knew you would say that.
Well, would you guys have let me get away with that if I hadn't?
Nope.
Exactly that. Anyway, let's get the news out of the way, shall we? You guys want to take this one? Take any bit of it?
Nope.
I suppose I will.
Okay.
As far as the news goes, we are seeing a brony study seeking ex-bronies, apparently. It's on Equestria Daily. The link will be going in chat as soon as I could actually get it to actually work here.
Oh, you'll throw the link in? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do that. Of course, now everything... like I said, if I can get it to work... Oh, okay, there we go. It is going in chat right now. So, yeah, basically the brony study is seeking ex-bronies. There's basically going to be taking a giant quiz for 5,000 pony fans as analysis as a fandom of the whole. Equestria Daily has a little bit more information about it. So, basically, if you're... They're basically looking for a group of former fans about why they left the show and so on and so forth. That's basically about it.
I will say one thing. I tried to click that link, folks, and it gave me piddly squats. So
Diabetes.
pretty much diabetes. So if I were you, just try and you can use the link. It might work now, but don't count on it. Just search Brony Study, and hopefully you can get pointed to the right direction. And that's the link on the article. So just to note that.
Once a brony, always a brony.
That's about it. And last bit of news is our Brony State announcement, as per always. The A movie is Space Cowboys. Pony 1 is the Stairmaster. B movie is Titanic 2. And Pony 2 is Ghostbusters. Now that you point that out, Sumika. Twy. Alright. Next. That's all we have for news, announcements, journals, and etc. So, Tim and Ben, video or art first?
We only got like 2 videos. I'd say just go for them first myself, but...
Yep.
Okay, so videos. Let me get you guys turned off here and myself. Okay, so which video should we go with first, guys?
I'm good either way, really. Hang on, is he in chat? Give me a second, let me take a look. No, I don't see him. I would have suggested the effects, but 'cause I don't see him actually in there.
So then why don't we go with, we'll go with effects anyway, just because why not? So this first one is titled "I'm So Sorry" by VFX. I'm going to put you guys on hold.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this. Time to put our differences behind us. We're meant to rule together, little sister. Will you accept my friendship? I'm so sorry. I missed you so much, big sister.
VFX, I'm so sorry. You guys there?
I am. It tried dropping on me.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, let's move on to the next one, shall we?
sounds good.
Twilight?
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of saying yep. This one is titled Remind Me by Dusty. This is sung by Dusty Cat and Annalie Heed. Apparently the backstory behind this is Dusty came to probably Sweden more than anything and did this duet with Annalie. So what you're going to hear here, folks, is both of them singing this song together. Enjoy.
We didn't care if ponies stared, or we pulled pranks in a crowd somewhere. No pony knew what we were up to. It's hard to believe that was me and you. Now we keep saying that we're okay. A special some pony is always great. Hearts and whose day was a while ago. Cheer, I want you to know. It's been so long, my apple tree, the way I used to call Cheerilee.
Remind me.
So sweet friend, so much fun. We used to talk for hours or just have a run.
Remind me. Remember the airship dropping me off, waving us goodbye as we couldn't stop.
I felt bad cause you missed your flight. At that moment it felt so right.
Do you remember how we used to be? I called you Snoopy Doopy and you said it back to me.
Remind me, baby, remind me.
So sweet friend, so much fun. My special son pony that I miss so much.
Remind me, baby, remind me. I wanna feel that way.
Yeah, I wanna hold you close.
Oh, if you still love me, don't ever let me go.
Do you remember the way it
Apple
felt?
Bloom's potion just made our hearts all melt.
Remind me.
Yep, remind me.
All those things that it made us do. That potion opened my eyes and I fell for you. Remind me. Oh, Big Mac, remind me.
Yeah, you always knew how to make me smile, and you'd make me laugh, it only take a while. Remind me.
Remind me. Yeah.
Yeah, you always knew how to make me smile.
And you made me laugh, just took a while.
Baby, remind me.
Oh, baby, remind me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Remind Me by Dusty Cat and Annalie Heed. And there you go.
Big Macintosh is best princess.
We're not talking about this or this. We're talking about this. Howdy, Fluttercry. Okay, so that was all of our videos this week, folks. Oh, we're making good time, actually. So, gentlemen, on to the art. Who wants to go first?
I already went first with the video. I'll go ahead and let Tim do this one.
I'll go ahead and let Elliot do this one.
Okay. So who do I want to start with? I think I'll do someone who is here. But I'm going to save that for my next one. Let's go with the one by Cold Steel Stallion. True love never ends. Now, I'm going to warn you before on this one, folks. Get your tissues ready because you're probably going to cry. And I am not joking about this. So we have Granny Smith and Applejack. Who wants who? I'll take Granny Smith if no one else is going to step forward. So who wants AJ?
I'll take Applejack.
All right. You got it up and ready to go?
Yep.
Your start.
All right. Granny, can I ask you something?
But of course, Pumpkin.
Where are Mommy and Daddy?
Mommy and Daddy passed away, dearie. It means they're not among us anymore.
Shoot.
I wasn't going to point that out, but...
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm sorry.
Do you mean they left us? But why? Does Mommy and Daddy not love me anymore?
Of course they do.
I just miss Mommy and Daddy.
Me too, honey. Me too.
Okay, that was just cruel, whoever did that. There's the link. Colt, do you have anything to say about that? You guys are just ruining the feels of this comic. I will say this, what I was kind of talking with you in the comments there, Colt. I have severe sympathy for Granny Smith. Put yourself in her shoes for a minute, folks. This means that she has to explain why AJ's parents are dead. And this is, probably what it was just like one day. That shouldn't be. That really should not be. But
that's how you get Batman.
oh, very funny. Alright. Who's got next rounds?
Do we have Muffinshire on?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Muffinshire's in here.
Well, then what are we waiting for?
Alright.
Ah, yes.
We got Muff. Go ahead.
I just said I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, now you're in my shoes, Mr. Ben. Now you gotta reenact these comics with me.
Yes!
Alright, Muffinshire, help me out here. Who's the blue unicorn here? What's her name again? But while we get that answer, we have blue unicorn. Love this comic. Thank you, Muffinshire. Savior Fair. So we have Savior Fair. So we have Savior Fair, Twilight Sparkle, the Cadets, Mrs. Sparkle, Mr. Sparkle. Ignore the Simpson joke there. Who else do we have? Shining Armor. Yeah, we got a lot of roles this time here, folks. And that's it. So that's what? Savior, the Cadet, Thunderhead, Twilight, Shining, Mr., Mrs., and 7 characters. Who wants who?
Ew.
I know you're Twilight.
I'll take Sergeant Thunderhead. I love doing him. I really do.
So you said you're taking Sergeant Thunderhead.
I
suppose I could take the Blue Unicorn and maybe either Mr. or I suppose I could do Mr. and Mrs. Sparkle as well.
Actually, I don't think Mr. Sparkle has a speaking role. It's just Mrs.
No,
He does.
Okay, then never mind. Okay. Good enough then. Thanks for the reminder there, Muffinshire. So, who then? I'll take Shining Armor, to be quite frank, unless you want him, Tim.
Well, I could do him.
Okay, then by all means.
Who's Twilight again? Is it me?
Huh?
Who's Twilight again?
We haven't claimed her. No one's claimed her, so if you want her, go ahead.
Well, claiming Twilight, of course. Who's the Cadet again?
No one's claimed her either. I can take her.
By all means.
Alright.
Well, since she's already got that one line, I suppose I could take her for that one scene.
That'll work too.
So.
And then we'll forget everything.
So then all y'all... okay, so Mr. Ben has Savior Fair, the Blue Unicorn, the Cadet, and Mr. and Mrs. Sparkle. I've got Sergeant Thunderhead, and Tim has Twilight, and who else?
Shining?
Shining Armor, that's it. Thank you.
Little Sparkle.
Huh?
Little Sparkle.
Yep. So, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. So, Sergeant Thunderhead, an unauthorized bag in the hold, a stowaway on deck, a new cadet having a panic attack. There had better be a very good explanation for all this.
I had the situation under control.
And I couldn't. Yeah. Made me look like a silly fool.
We know, Devin. That's so rude.
Rebel.
Defense doesn't want to be a royal guard.
One at a time.
Squadron leader. Some of the cadets are asking what's Twilight. I only wanted my bag. And Miss Smarty Pants back. I didn't mean to get everyone in trouble. I just... There. No harm done. Can I go now?
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that.
Oh no! Quick, turn around!
I can land this again, but it will take a while. We'll have to get clearance and...
But I'll be late for school. Can't you fly me back down?
Sorry, kiddo. This old wing ain't what it's used to be.
Then float me down with your magic. I don't know if that's...
Out of the question, it's far too dangerous from this height. Regulation 42A, the Equestrian Aeronautical Code clearly states.
Don't worry, I'm sure Princess Letty will understand.
That stereotypical Indian accent.
Yeah.
I'll get her down, even with one crippled wing. I only need to glide, after all.
But Regulation 42A...
Applies to you balloon jockeys, not distressed little fillies.
I don't care what the regulations say, but others on that airship. Honey, look.
Will not Letty be angry with you when you get back?
Don't worry, she's an old fuzz budget sometimes, but she means well. I wouldn't have... Ugh!
Are you okay?
little twinge. I'm... Ah!
No! Huh? Whee!
Twilight!
Thank you, Mr. Thunderhead, sir.
No, thank you. For a moment, it felt like I could fly by myself again.
But how are you going to get back up to the airship?
Doink.
Da-da-da.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. Ah. There's going to be some lag here shortly. Back, get back. Oh, I see what it's doing. Well, I'll splice that together. Anyway, folks, Twilight's first day, number 11. Oh, you have anything to say on that, Muffinshire? He broke the wah-wah machine. I bet. I love the character interactions you did with them here, Muffinshire. It actually feels plausible, but it just feels a lot of fun. It's so much fun to read this comic in particular. You guys have anything to add?
Well, it's absolutely awesome.
It's actually quite cute, especially how the Savoir Faire, I believe, the blue unicorn there,
Savior Fair, or
step in. I'm sorry.
Carry on. Never mind.
I just like how she just decides to step in, kind of like at the last minute to help Sergeant Thunderhead there, or Thunder, yeah, just to help the sergeant. I'm gonna get
Characterization power.
this character's names right, so. I'm sorry, Muffinshire. I do deeply apologize.
All right. Then, shall we carry on?
Yep.
Let's see, it's my turn. I think I'm going to go with the first one. All right, this guy's it's been a long time since he's been on here, but it's been a long time coming, folks. This next one is by Reki, titled Callisti 3 Request, Celestia versus the Xenomorph Queen. For those, remember how I said back last episode, or the episode 2 episodes ago, something like that? I think it was just one. I said there would be a lot of these Callisti 3 requests coming in. Well, this is one of them. And on this one, I got it. It's basically kind of just as it says on the cereal box there, folks. Celestia versus the Xenomorph Queen from the Aliens franchise.
This shaded.
Mm-hmm. Something that I loved about this is the fact that he stuck with the Aliens theme, but basically putting Celestia in there. What I mean by that is it's given that Aliens atmosphere. It's futuristic. It's really dark, really, horrifying. But
Celestia.
But then, yeah, there's Celestia there.
It's almost kind of too bad we didn't have this on last week's stream, considering the fact that we streamed our Aliens trilogy earlier last week. But, because that would have been a pretty cool start to kick that off, but I'm not really complaining that bad.
What else? Anything left to say?
I kind of I just remembered that part of where we was talking about in chat during the, I don't remember if it was during the Callisti chat or if it was here in Brony State, but some of us were watching Rec draw this, and some of them were like, yeah, it's supposed to be a pony thing, but he's just drawing aliens. Rec just don't give nothing. He just don't give two cracks about it.
Well, I really like how he did the Xenomorph Queen.
I agree.
This head, all this texture. Look at it. It's crazy.
Dark 92. Alright, let's move on. I believe it's Mr. Ben's turn.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and go with Joey Dark Knight.
Alright. You got first points, so...
Well, let's see. Yeah, he's not even in chat either, so... this one here... Joey's... I have to admit, I've said this before in the chat, but Joey's style just... I don't know what to say about it outside of the fact that I love it. It's simple, yet it's elegant in its simplicity. Right here with Chrysalis being here on vacation, how can I say... I can kind of see this happening, like after her defeat in the from the season 2 finale. She probably just said that, you know, the heck with this, and just decided to go to the nearest beach and just...
She needed it.
Yeah.
You make a good point there, Matt the Shadow Man. That looks like Rarity's hat. Something I would...
When she passed over Ponyville.
Something I'd like to see. I'd like to see those sunglasses on her. I just think she would look really cool with those on.
Looks like she stole them from vinyl.
No, I have an idea. She didn't just steal them. She impersonated them and then stole them.
Alright, shall we move on?
Alright.
For though, link,
I guess.
set, done. I'll take care of the links just to make things simple. Tim, you're next.
Is Tox here?
No, I just checked. He's not here.
Then we'll
Yet.
hold it back. Why don't we go with Macalania?
Alright. Wavy Hair Celestia.
Yep.
Your points.
Well, it's a bit less complex than what she presented previously, because, well, those were absolutely crazy. But I can see that the same mark of qualities right here. Look at this hair. I mean, damn. Also the light effect on the horn. Then just the overall line work of the hairs. Well, it's awesome. What else to say about it?
That's about it. I would say I have to just add, I think the hair was basically the focus of this. I don't think she was trying to be over complex like her other pieces.
Yeah.
I think she was just trying to work on, yeah, as it says, tried some new styles / brush sets.
Also, the color difference between the different parts of her mains. Interesting how she shifts the tones between pink and...
To a light blue, to green. It's all over the place, but it's wonderfully done. I agree.
I also have to admit that just like with Joey Darkmeat's style, I will say what I said for this. There is also elegance in its simplicity as well. It's not like was mentioned has overly complex as her previous works was. It is indeed very well done. Just the colors just blend very smoothly in with themselves, and I have to admit, I know it says it was done with a program and a Wacom interest tablet, but the way that is just presented there, I could easily see this as if it were done on a canvas with actual watercolors.
You make a good point there, and that's some high quality detail in that respect. Alright, my turn.
Yep. I'll keep doing that.
Let's go with... let's go down on the... down a little bit. Let's go with... Let's keep the theme of Celestia going. This one is titled Princess Celestia with Baby Spike by Tuila. If you're watching this, I just hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. By the way, is she here? She said she was
We're
supposed
terribly
to.
sorry.
I sure hope she shows up. Or is it Twyla? Anyway,
It's Celestia with Spike.
let me read the description. Quote: someone commissioned this, and they requested a double portrait of Celestia with baby Spike, something motherly, inspired by this quote found in the wiki. End quote. I'm not going to read the quote. It's not important.
It's known.
I saw this one, and I just said, I got to have this one on my show. Not only just because it's really cute, but the detailing on Celestia was what really caught my eye. At that angle, I can only imagine that's not exactly a fun angle to draw. I've drawn my fair share in these. If they aren't at 90-degree angles, they're even trickier. So, points to you for that.
Once again, this hair and these eyelashes, look at them. And the scales on Baby Spike, check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. She did a great job with the texture.
Indeed. And I also have to admit that the adorableness factor is just like completely through the roof.
Yep.
Also, I have
been-
this is
It has
something
also-
very easily see Celestia doing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Tim, or just speak over you.
It's okay. It has always been a very cute detail that Spike has been raised for a while by Celestia. As a sort of future familiar for Twy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I always found it cute. Celestia showing a bit of her motherly side. Well, this picture says it all, really.
All right, shall we move on?
Yep.
Mr. Ben, your choice.
Okay, let's see. No, he's not in chat. No, he's not in chat either. Dang, where are all these people anyway?
Some of them are asleep.
Let's go with I remember this one. Let's go with Weezy's work here. The one with Discord.
Oh, Husai?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I butchered that name.
All right. What do you have to say about it?
Oh, this. I have to admit, I was very blown away by this when I saw this. Just everything, the shading, the lighting, just how the facial expressions, the hair, the eyebrows, the goatee that he's got. The only thing really missing, I suppose, would probably be the horn on his heads, but if you look really closely, you can even see that they even got the fang, the single fang in his mouth. Outside of well, I suppose the horns could probably be said to be there on the throne, but outside of that, that is probably one of the best damn-looking human characterizations of Discord I have ever seen. For some reason, I'm getting some sort of what was that one guy's name who played Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit?
Oh, dang it. I know who you're referring to.
Christopher Lloyd, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. For some reason, I just get that very Judge Doom feeling from looking at this guy, from hearing this portrayal.
I have to say this. Cheese for everyone! Because if you remember this quote, it's from Sheogorath, from the Elder Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
It's, as ever, humanizations of Discord end up bearing a very close similarity to Sheogorath, for obvious reasons. And, well, I think this one is both good in this respect and good enough on its own. Also, note the wine, really.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how he did the wine. It's bloody awesome. And, well, the distorted background, the circular sky, it's all very fitting, I think. And the slouch of power, of course. I think he did a very good job at humanizing Discord.
I get either an Alice in Wonderland vibe or, of all things, a Legend of Zelda, specifically Twilight Princess type vibe from this. Because it's got that kind of psychological, surreal feeling to it, especially, and the background gives that feeling to it. But Discord, sitting there smiling, kind of reminds me of Ganondorf when you finally confront him. It's, he's just sitting there waiting for you. And then when he stands up, all he does is just laugh.
Discord is a true chimera.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds us of a whole lot of things.
And
It's
that's not a
everywhere.
bad thing. Link and Tim, your choice.
Well, why don't we go with the facts?
All right.
He's not here, but maybe he won't be.
You hate to show them when they're not here, and then
Yeah.
when they show up later. Ugh.
Well, Rainbow Naps is best pony. Right after Big Mac. Princess Big Mac, that is. It's very... It looks very smooth, very soft. And... Well, dash typing is cute always, at any time. But I can say that while it's not terribly detailed, there is some use of the detail-based focus on Dash.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of detail her hair and her wings are in, it's just how superior it is to the surroundings, puts her in some very good focus here. Those feathers are lovely. And this tail and this mane, don't you just want to brush it? Tell me.
Yes, I do. I was going to make that point.
Yeah, well, it's a good place to sleep in. As long as there is a bigger branch below you.
I was just about to say that the only thing I'm getting from this particular picture here is just the mental image that she's going to roll over and fall off in 3, 2, 1.
I think this is just, if anything, this is just absolutely adorable, as you put it, Tim. Pet her mane, pet her mane, pet her mane. No, I'm avoiding the Ed reference there.
And get a doof in the face.
But, if anything, this is just an absolutely adorable piece. Alright. Link. Up. My turn. Are you here? Not yet. Okay, so let's go with, let's save that one. Let's go with Harlina's Vinyl Scratch. I saw this one, and this was another one of those, I gotta put this one on my show. And before anyone says it, yes, she's missing her cutie mark. No, I don't know if Harlina is aware of that. And no, let's not point that out, okay? Because partially because I just did, and partially because it's already been pointed out in the chat. But what I loved so much about this was how bright and colorful it was. It just popped, kind of like a holofoil trading card. especially with the background lights. I assume those are. They could be anything at this point, but I don't care. The point is it stuck out, and I was just like, I gotta put this one on.
Yep.
You have anything to say, Mr. Ben?
I have to just love the lighting details in the background right there. Not only just the lighting where the rave lights are going on, but just her hair right there, or I should say her mane right there. That is just some beautiful coloring work right there, especially some details like on her shades there. You can see like right through them to her eyes. That's just wow.
Considering that they are changing her eye color, I wonder what they'd be if removed.
It's questionable.
It's interesting how this vinyl pops out, and it makes you ignore all the imperfections in the rest of the image. For example, the turntable, but you just don't see them because vinyl. Well, I guess that's why it's here. Because vinyl. Because she just pops out at you like this. And I think it's a successful use of this effect.
Agreed. All right, Mr. Ben, your go.
Let's see what we got here. I suppose let's go with Varda's Touch.
All right.
Get that one out of the way, I suppose.
We'll try and avoid the EQG talk, folks. That's everyone.
Too late.
Unfortunately. But let's ignore that for a moment. Mr. Ben, please take point.
Well, I can't really say too much about it, to be perfectly honest with you, mainly because I still have not seen the movie. And I can't entirely really give a whole lot of opinions about this. I will state that from what I've seen of the trailers, it does look rather, well, not so much accurate as it is just, it's quite well done. I mean, I do like the shadow effect, if nothing else. As far as just the actual artwork goes, I am rather impressed with the shading and the light work. But aside from that, I really can't go much on with that.
Well, I can say that this waste is killing me. Because Twilight Sparkle's best wasp.
Oh yeah, now that you mention that, the waist size. I mean, what is it with these humanized portions that have like Barbie doll anatomy proportions anyway? Like their waists are like thinner than their heads anyway.
Yep.
I don't know, to be quite frank. I suppose it's just one's drawing style more than anything. One thing that I've always loved about her work is the fact I love the way she does eyes. In this case, it's extremely prominent, and I'm fine with that. It's like there's a backlight in their eyes, and it just makes them really stand out and pop. To me, I've always loved that because it kind of draws your eyes to their eyes, and therefore the face, which is more often than not the center of attention in the photo, the image. So in this case, again, another kudos to you there, Vardis.
I only wish she didn't use this automatic texture on her skirts and on the leg warmers, because it's kind of grating if you zoom in. And as she shows here with her blouse, or however you call it, she can do a perfectly fine texture without this auto texture thingy. She can shade like a boss, and I don't see why she didn't use it here. And if you've seen my critiques, or feedback, or whatever you call it, you know I'm a big fan of hair done well. And I think she did a rather good job here. This messy look is, well, Twilight.
Alright.
She looks very adorable here. Although, yes, a little bit crazy, but, well, I don't mind that.
right. Your go, Twi.
I don't think she'll show up, so let's go with looted. Any of the two, or both at once.
Well, we'll do them one at a time, like we usually do.
Righty.
Which one first?
Let's go with the older one, the rarity one first. Take the wows.
All right. Your point.
Well, first of all, that style. This line heavy, this very long line, very long limbs, and exaggerated style is quite intriguing, really. And all the details, all these pearl lines and the flowers. I don't know. To me, they look quite impressive, and well, Rarity is my second favorite pony, so.
When you let me get my sentences. Use your words. When I saw this one, it wasn't much of a contest when it came to, do I put this on my show or not? This was one of those, this is going on right away. I love her exaggerated looks here. It's kind of like something out of the turn of the 20th century art style, and I don't hate that.
That's the vibe I'm getting. That's right. Also, she ended up showing an interesting kind of emotion here. If you look at her entire body and consider her expression, it's interesting.
How would you describe that?
Well, I think that's the added description, that it's Rarity in a wedding dress, and it's this kind of wedding day emotion that you'd expect. Anticipation, worry, but the good kind of worry.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this picture and the hair and these light skirts below on the front, they kind of give off this light feeling, light and airy. And well, just look at how much she put into this picture. Look at how much we can read from it.
I have to admit, the exaggerations kind of threw me at first. If it hadn't been for the description stating that this was Rarity in a wedding dress, I would have easily mistaken this for possibly Princess Celestia somehow.
That's not a bad point, actually.
Actually, I felt the same the first time around, and I believe this was the picture that got me to watch her, actually. I looked at it first and I was like, maybe, and then I looked at it more, and then some more, and then I favorited it, so.
The question is, who exactly is she marrying? Let's not answer that, please.
Thank you. All right. Then the next one of hers is titled Alliance. You still got point, Tim.
Right. Wings and horns for every pony. Well, this here is one of her newer pictures, and what I like the most about this one is how she actually managed to depict every single character as, well, herself. For example, look at Luna. Do you recognize Luna here? I don't know, I do. And look at Twilight, and although it doesn't seem like too great a difference in their body shape and such, because, well, they're all female alicorns, they're all of generally the same size, aside from Falsicorn, of course. But you can see their unique character traits in their faces, and I find that quite interesting to see, actually. And well, it's just a pretty picture. I also liked how she uses kind of more sketchy style for the outsides edges, and for the wings on Falsicorn, for example, and towards the center.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a bit more focused, a bit more detailed, clearer. And while the outside is a bit blurrier, the faces are all in focus. It's once again a good use of this focus via detail trick. And well, it's just 5 alicorns, it's beautiful. Also that hair.
That hair. That. Anything to say, Mr. Ben?
Side of thing that kind of strikes me as interesting outside of what he said. Just, the way that he just chose charcoal as the medium here, and just pretty much the angles of, or I should say, not really the angles, but the contours of the alicorns themselves that he used, just the slightly, I wouldn't want to say jagged, but angled edge. I suppose maybe angled would probably be the best term here for it, to just be to do this. I apologize, I really don't have much to say on outside of what's already been said.
That's alright.
It's an alicorn pyramid. But
Right.
well, yes, the best part is how every character feels like herself. And you can see Cadence is Cadence and Twilight is Twilight. There's something unique and intrinsic about them depicted here that sets them apart from others.
I agree.
I think that should be all.
Alright, let us move on. My turn. Let's go with the one by Mickey Monster titled Luna's Corruption. When I saw this one of his, this one took me back a little bit, in a good way. This one seems a bit different. This one, to me, seemed a bit different in his animation style. It looked like he went to the next level. That's about the only way I can describe this one, is it looks better than anything he's done before. Maybe it's just the angling, but this one took me back in a good way because it looked like he did so much better. What do you guys have to say?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just kidding around. Do go ahead.
I have to admit, I'm kind of interesting on how he chose to go with his take on the corruption, compared to what is actually introduced in supplemental canon. However, seeing as how not everyone's actually read the official comics, I'm not going to mention anything for risk of spoilers. So,
I will note this. Quote, fan theories say King Sombra might have had an influence on Luna's transformation into Nightmare Moon. That's not my personal headcanon, but I have to admit the idea is interesting. Thus, this pick came to be. End quote. So in a sense, he does agree with you, Mr. Ben, but I'm not going to go on. Tin, did you have something to say?
Well, Sombra Shadow form is awesome. It's quite a bit cooler than his normal form, actually. The way he, well, is Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, Luna here looks like she's pulling off a Luke Skywalker.
Alright, throw this in. And let us go on. Mr. Ben, your turn.
Let's go with G-Spear. Showdown at Tartarus.
Done and done.
Now, what can I say about this? This is just something I feel probably should have. This is probably the showdown that should have been seen in episode or in the season 2 finale and just wasn't. I mean, I'm getting a bit of a Star Wars sort of feel on this Revenge of the Sith here, but
Exactly.
I don't know. The only thing is that I wish they could have done this instead in like the official show. I'm loving how this ultimate clash between Chrysalis and Celestia is just going down. Just two royal, being almost, well, I wouldn't say divine, except for maybe in possibly Celestia's case, just in an epic clash with the Titans, if you will. Just something that was. This is just my thoughts on the fight. Well, I suppose that could probably be saved for when we actually do go over the episode in question. But just there's just something about this that just makes me lament the actual true fights in the show that are like maybe over in less than 10 seconds.
We'll get to that when we get to some of the later episodes, like towards the end of season 2 and 3.
Well, I believe that the show crew themselves would have liked to give us something like this, but time constraints as always. The horrible scissors of animation bearing down on them and forcing them to limit the exposure of, well, the material. It's because of because of these constraints that Chrysalis has had to get her development in the comics instead. But yeah, it would have been awesome. Add some Luna there and we have a duel of the fates.
Alright. Did I throw this? I did not. There, and let us carry on. Tim, your go.
What do I have left? I have Death Pony, so why not?
Alright. Let's go with the Flutter Pinka Bloombapalooza. Alright, your points.
Well, Death Pony and Hair. I think that's it for the first point, because even in a hurried request like this, I watched it being drawn, so I know it was done in a rather short period of time, but even here he managed to give us a great set of mains and tails, because just look at them. Really now.
Yeah, I agree. This is so his style, and I've always loved showing his style on here. For those of you who don't know, I will quote this. Quote, Callisto 3 request number 53. Apple Bloom and Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy singing. Thing I love about this is what I like to call, if it's worth doing, it's not worth... If it's worth doing, it is worth overdoing. And, well, case in point right here, folks.
Also, Pinkie's teaching Apple Bloom to fly.
Interesting point of note here. For those of you who did not attend or was in the Callisti chat or seen the Callisti stream, this very picture here was actually requested by Andrea Lindman herself when she was actually on stream.
Let's go to the next one, titled Kite Time. This was also a Callisti request.
Implying that Pinkie needs a kite to fly.
Pinky doesn't need a kite to fly, but
She can already walk on air, so...
but she's hanging out with her best friend. Why wouldn't she, why would she deny this?
Exactly.
Good point. That's right.
I think this is just a cute scenario. I don't care what anyone says. If you're going to hang out with your friends, you might as well hang out something like this.
Yep. And once again, Deaf Pony, Pinky, hair. It's always awesome.
It is.
Screw your Palisering boat. I got a Pegasus.
Matt the Shadow Man. Alright, my turn. We got one more left. Or two more, I'm sorry. Let's go with Alasso. And these next two are kind of tied together, but we'll go with this first one, titled Costume Swap Party. Quote, beginning of a new series. Rarity set up a costume party, with the help of Pinky, of course. Everybody wears someone else's costume. Some other costume from the show. Hence, this is what we get. I think this is a brilliant idea. I'm surprised no one else did this first.
You can see it, but the punch bowl is also blushing.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think Rainbow Dash looks awesome in this outfit. The Dangerous Mission outfit. And the juice
She gets
box.
all the mares.
Kinky.
Just look at them, really. And yes, she's dangerous enough to make a dragon and a wolf hide. Also, look at Fluttershy, she's the wolf costume.
I always thought they were envious of her. Like they were kind of like a soon we're going to get that juice box or something. I didn't take that as fear. But that's a good point.
Yeah, I have to. I'm kind of with Elliot on this one. I mean, what exactly are they afraid of with Rainbow Dash in that sort of costume? I mean, she's wearing what looks to be bunny ears and bunny feet on her hobes.
Well, Angel, right?
Actually, to be perfectly honest, now that I think about it, it's not so much Angel I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the rabbit from Monty Python.
Yes, as Suki points out, it's not fear. It's something else.
I think this is, like I said, this is a great idea. Alright, let's go to the next one. This one's titled Costume Swap Party, Let's Rock. Quote, second picture, less cute, I admit. You guys have anything to say?
The mic's about to melt.
I can definitely see Pinkie Pie doing this, regardless of who's joining her on stage, complete with the pseudo Kiss outfit. So, which come to think of it, she probably needs to do at some point.
I think Spike looks awesome with that ice cream cone.
Yep.
Why do I get the feeling he can shout loud enough to, he doesn't need a microphone? Or any other amplifier?
It's because Pinkie Pie's physics breaking aura actually enables the microphone to actually take on acoustic qualities.
The microcone. Also, Pinkie got codes descended from her bounce. Also, it could be that she's about to take off into space.
Launching the Pinky rocket in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
Whee! Alright, let us move on. And finally we hit, I know this would be your go, Mr. Ben, and I'll have you, I will have you lead this one, but so go ahead.
Let's go with the watch and learn one here.
This is Toxic Mario, folks.
Yes. Which he is still not in chat for, and if he ever comes up, and I'm going to strangle him for having him miss his own work, but...
Maybe he got called away or something. I didn't know.
Bad thing about real life, it has an unfortunate tendency to butt in when you don't want it to.
Ugh, amen to that. Anyway, what do you have to say about this?
For this one here with the Dragon Ball Z one, I have to admit that it, just like his other ones there, I'm just kind of amazed at just how he does the bipedal stances. He makes them work with all the others he's done to this point.
Hello?
Is it back?
Are you back? Hello?
No, Mr. Ben.
Ugh.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, well, sorry about that. Once again, double with Brony's motto. If it's not one thing, it's another. But anyhow, as I was saying, I honestly don't know that much about Dragon Ball Z, but as it did say there in the comments, he did not specifically base this particular character off of any one Dragon Ball Z character. He based it off an attack that he saw in the show. But I don't, for the life of me, I don't recognize what he's trying to do with that one. So...
Once again, he's kind of showing his strong points with the backgrounds in this one, if you ask me. One of the things that the DBZ series here has caught me particularly well is the dust and ice effects that he does. I think that's just... It shows a maturity in his work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Also, how he does the background rocks. It's just 2 colors, well, 3 to be exact, and no real shade in them. Well, look at them. They look like rocks. That's good. That's very good. I'm looking forward to what he does with vinyl.
Alright, let's carry on to the last one, titled A Rare Flavor, as opposed to sponges. Alright, now this one is a comic, but it is wordless, so I'll just kind of stream through scroll through for everyone.
A Rare Flavor, voice acted by Mr. Ben. Wah, wah, wah.
A Rare Flavor by Toxic Mario. Alright, folks, that is the end of the art and other content. So, y'all ready for the episode?
Well, Rarity didn't get belled to death, so of course I am.
I suppose I am too.
Alright, I'll put you guys on hold and I'll get the thing set up.
Ponies!
shouting. I'm trying to concentrate. Hanky Pie, stop that right now. It's time to prepare for the gala, and I refuse to let you put on your new dress if you're all sweaty.
What's Twilight doing?
She's got an awesome magic spell she's been working on for the gala.
Where are the others? It's getting late.
Hold your horses, girl. We're here.
Perfect. I'm ready.
For what?
All right, Spike.
An apple! Are we having pie?
Shh! Watch!
Lovely. Oh, thanks. But that's just the start. Fluttershy, did you bring your friends?
Yes. Will they be safe, Twilight?
You have my word.
That's a choice. Interesting.
Neat, huh? And don't worry, there'll be mice again at midnight.
Lessons, no.
Wait! Come back! Those horses were supposed to pull our carriage. How will we get to the gala? Whatever shall we do?
Excuse me. Would you boys mind pulling our carriage to the gala?
Oh, yeah. Right. My little pony, my little pony. Ah, I used to wonder what friendship could be. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong.
Sharing kindness.
It's an easy feat, and magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Did you know you're all my very best friends?
Come on, you guys.
Let me in.
Sure thing, Spike.
Heavens, no. We're getting dressed.
Dressed? Beg pardon, Rarity, but we don't normally wear clothes.
I'm sorry, Spike. Some of us do have standards.
I still can't believe we're going to be at Canterlot tonight, our hometown, Twilight. And the best part is that we all get to hang out together all night long.
I don't know, Spike. We'll just have to see.
We're gonna be mighty busy.
Busy having fun.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, Spike. We'll all get to spend some time together.
Great! Because I planned out my insider's tour of Canterlot. I gotta show Rarity the crown jewels, and Applejack the princess's golden apple tree. And Pinky, we gotta go to my favorite donut shop.
All right, Jackson. He'll be around.
Then let's get moving. Yeah!
Excuse me?
I...
If you weren't friends with our neighbor Rarity...
Whoa! You all look amazing.
I can't believe we're finally here. With all that we've imagined, the reality of this night is sure to make this the best night ever! At the gala.
At the gala, in the garden, I'm going to see them all. All the creatures, I'll befriend them at the gala. All the birdies and the critters, they will love me big and small. We'll become good friends forever, right here at the gala.
Dreams will come true, right here at the gala.
At the gala, I will sell them all my apple-tastic treats. Hungry ponies, they will buy them. Caramel apples, apple sweets. And I'll earn a lot of money for the apple family.
Our dreams and our hopes from now until hereafter. All that we've been wishing for will happen at the gala.
At
the gala, all the royals, they will meet fair rarity. They will see I'm just as regal at the gala. I will find him, my Prince Charming, and how gallant he will be. He will treat me like a lady tonight at the gala.
This is what we waited for, to have the best night ever. Each of us will live our dreams tonight at the gala. At the gala.
Been dreaming, I've been waiting to fly with those great ponies. The Wonderbolts, their daring tricks, spinning round and having hits. Perform for crowds of thousands, they'll shower us with diamonds. The Wonderbolts will see me right here at the gala.
For always in our happy ever after. I know we will all come true right here at the grand gala. At the gala.
I am here at the grand gala, for it is the best party. But the one thing it was missing was a pony named Twinkie. For I am the best at parties, all the ponies will agree. Ponies playing, ponies dancing with me at the grand gala.
Happiness and laughter at the gala. At the gala.
At the gala with the princess is where I'm going to be. We will talk all about magic and what I've learned and seen. It is going to be so special as she takes time just for me.
Into the gala we must go, we're ready now, we're all aglow. Into the gala, let's go in and have the best night ever. Into the gala, now's the time, we're ready and we look divine.
Into the gala, meet new friends. Into the gala, sell some apples.
Into the gala, find my prince.
Prove I'm great as a Wonderbolt. Didn't need to sell,
To find,
to prove, to talk.
Into the gala, into the gala, and we'll have the best night ever. At the gala.
Yeah! This is gonna be the best night ever. You know why? Because we're all gonna spend time at the gala together. Or not.
Princess Celestia.
Twilight, it is so lovely to see my star student.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. We have so much to catch up on.
Well, I want you right by my side the entire evening, so we'll have plenty of time together.
That's just what I was hoping you'd say.
Hurry, Rarity! Oh, but not too fast. I don't want to lose him. Wait! Have to play it cool. Oh, but don't be cold. I can't lose him. I can't. He's everything I imagined.
Even better than I imagined. Oh my, a meadowlark. I think she's calling to me. It's exactly what I wished for. Ah.
Howdy, partner. You hungry?
As a horse.
Well, what you hankering for? Caramel apple, apple pie, apple fritter, apple fries?
I'll take that big apple pie.
Well, thank you kindly, sir. Yeehaw! In the first minute, I made my first sale, just like I expected.
Always hungry after a show, eh, Soren?
Yeah. My pie! You saved it. Thanks.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, I know you. You're the pony that saved us in Cloudsdale and won the best flyer competition.
Hey, yeah. Name's Rainbow Dash.
Well, Rainbow Dash, looks like your skills saved us again. Oh, well, at least they saved Soren's apple pie.
Yeah.
Want to come hang out with us?
Sure, why not? I'm hanging with the Wonderbolts.
Well, hello. I am Prince Blueblood.
I am Rarity. Oh my, what a lovely rose.
You mean... this rose? Thank you. It goes with my eyes.
My little meadowlark is right around this bend. Was that you?
Yep. I love whistling while I work.
Oh, yes. Well, excuse me. Oh, I see a Toko toucan and a spider monkey. I know. Is that a wallaroo? Oh, Fluttershy, you're such a loud mouse.
Welcome to the Grand Galloping Gala.
Princess, I've been so excited to spend time with you and...
Yes, me too, Twilight. Oh, good evening. Welcome to the gala. Which is why I... Ladies! Lovely to see you again.
Looks like getting a chance to talk to the princess is gonna be a magic trick in itself. First minute, first sight. Second, fourth, sixth, 60th minute, no sales. This ain't what I expected at all.
I'm at the Grand Galloping Gala, and it's not what I dreamed.
This isn't at all what I imagined.
Good evening. So nice to see you. Welcome.
This isn't what I hoped. This isn't hanging out.
This isn't what I wished for.
No!
I've waited all my life for this moment, and I'm not going to
Let it slip by. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna make this the best night ever!
I just have to be more bold, like Twilight says. I'm so sorry to have scared you, my friends, but I'm leaving now, so you can all come out. Gotcha! It's okay. I promise not to hurt you. I just want to be your... friend?
Sounds good to me.
Come on, Rainbow. If they don't notice you, you gotta make them notice you. Just give him a chance, Rarity. His princely side is sure to come out if you're just patient.
Miss Rarity, stop!
Oh, Prince Blueblood. How chivalrous.
One would hate to slip.
Yes, one certainly would.
One's cloak should take care of the problem.
Oh, of course it will.
And then we're going to do this. Come on, every pony! I know what'll make you shake those green things! You reach your right hoof in, you reach your right hoof out, you reach your right hoof in, and you shake it all about. You do the pony pokey, meeting lots of folks with clout. That's what I'm talking about. You step your left hoof in, you pull it right back out. You step your left hoof in, but you better help him out. You do the pony pokey, but you'd find a different route. That's what it's all about. You kick your back left in, head out. You tilt your head in, then you shake it all about. You do the pony pokey even though your date's allowed. You're better off without. You stomp your whole self in, you stomp your whole self out. You stomp your whole self in and you stomp yourself about. You do the pony pokey and you give a little shout. Come out! That's what I'm talking about. You do the pony pokey, you do the pony pokey, you do the pony pokey, and that's what it's all about. Yeah!
Young lady, this is not that kind of party.
Oh! They don't want a party. These ponies want a party!
2 apple fritters, please. 2 apple fritters coming right up. That'll be 4 bits.
I'm going to have to pay, aren't I?
It's okay, Rarity. I got you covered.
Thank you, Applejack. At least some pony here has good manners.
Ugh! Oh, fritters, dumplings, caramel apples. My royal lips have touched common carnival fare. I'm going to the buffet for some hors d'oeuvres.
Well, no wonder no pony wants my food. They're filling up on all those fancy schmancy beetles. Well, my down-home apples are plenty good enough for this crowd. I'll just dress them up a bit and prove it to them.
I'll catch you yet, my pretties. Oh, yes. As soon as one of you little birds or monkeys or bears touches this net, you'll be mine. Mine! Come on, every pony! You wanted a party? Now let's party! Yeah! Now that's a beat. Yeah! Come on, dance! Yeah!
Okay, all you high-class ponies. Here's a high-balloon apple cake for all your hoity-toity taste buds.
You, sir, are the most uncharming prince I have ever met. In fact, the only thing royal about you is that you are a royal pain.
Ew! Stay back! I just had myself groomed!
Afraid to get dirty? This is my chance. Yes! Whoa! Well, it can't get any worse. We're going to love Ooh, Rarity, your glass slipper! Now your prince is sure to find you. Let's go!
Hey, Pony Joe, another donut.
Don't you think you've had enough?
Another donut! Extra sprinkles!
Twilight Sparkle. Ha ha! Long time no see.
Hey, how was the gala? How was your best night ever? That sounds like the worst night ever.
It was!
I just hope Princess Celestia isn't upset with us for ruining the gala.
That was the best Grand Galloping Gala ever!
Princess Celestia!
Pardon me, Princess, but tonight was just awful.
Oh, Twilight, the Grand Galloping Gala is always awful.
It is?
That is why I was thrilled you were all attending. I was hoping you could liven things up a bit. And while the evening may not have gone as you planned, I'm sure you'll agree that, in the end, it didn't turn out so bad for this group of friends.
You're right, Princess. Friends have a way of making even the worst of times into something pretty great.
Yeah, hanging out with friends.
Talking. Laughing.
You mean doing exactly what I wanted to do the whole time?
Yes, Spike, you were right.
As horrible as our night was,
Being together here has made it all better. In fact, it's made it the best night ever!
Ladies and gentlemen, the best night ever. Get the guys back on. Y'all there?
I'm still here.
All right. Let's get our mugs back online. And there we go.
That's good.
Make you guys a little bit bigger. Like so I'm just kind of setting things up, but yeah, everyone, of course, initial thoughts, opening lines. What do you have to say?
Well, looking at it a second time, I actually was thinking about my original comments that I had when I first originally had seen this from the very first go. I have to admit, this is actually quite a pretty powerful episode here, just overall. Mainly in the terms of the lesson provided. But I have to stand by my original assumption that as far as, an episode goes, this is probably one of the best episodes that they've had. But I personally think that has an actual season finale. Well, how can I say this? I still stand by my fact that the Season 2 premiere actually worked better as a Season 1 finale than this one would have done. But that's probably going to be getting a little bit into Season 2, and I'll go over that a little bit further when we actually get into that.
I was going to say, I know where you're coming from, and I will say just that. Let's save that for when we actually get to the Season 2 premiere. But you do make a valid point there. Tim, do you have any opening lines?
Well, I can say that this is one of the strongest character episodes we have. It's all about the characters. It's character driven, and it has some characterization for pretty much every character who even appears, and particularly for those who have speaking roles, even Soren, even Spitfire. And to me, it actually works very well as a season finale, because it kind of stays in the same mood as the rest of the episodes in season 1, and well, we'll get to Return of Harmony when we get there. As for this one, well, it's very well balanced. It has a song. It has a very strong and considerably lengthy song, and to me, it's one of the best songs that we've ever had. And
that I do agree with.
Also, the fact that they used an actual choir for it, and well, I believe that they pulled it off very well here.
We'll get to the song in a second here, but there is something I do just want to throw right out there. Yes, I do think this is one of the strongest episodes, not only of Season 1, but of the entire series thus far, anyway. Obviously, it kind of depends on your perspective, how you want to determine strengths. Oh, goody, the stream's dying again.
Yeah, I noticed it's a buffer in there. So. The buffer show. Everyone wants the circle. Everyone wants the buffer show.
Well, we're back after that little buffer. Yeah, I noticed it, and of course, just had to happen. But I know in the recording of this is going to be a turd to edit. Not only that, but pointing it out here is kind of a dumb idea. But technical problems aside, folks. What was it I was going to make the point of? Oh yeah, just something worth noting. This is number 3 on the We Heart Ponies fan favorite marathon. One other thing I wanted to note. Save all overall season talk and season 2 for the next episode, because next episode we're doing is just that. We're going to be looking at the entirety of season 1, kind of doing a primer for season 2, and kind of a wrap up of season 1, like things I missed, things you guys want to talk about again, things you want to talk about in season 2, just again kind of a generality. Save all of that for next week, because that's where we're going to be doing that. In the meantime, just try and focus on this episode and this episode qua episode. I know it's going to be a bit difficult because we are kind of, we reached the end and we're about ready to. We've reached the end, and we would love to just talk about. We would love to talk about the next stuff, but I do ask kindly to stay on the best night ever. But okay, let's talk about the song now. What do you guys have to say about? This is, of course, audience included. Guys, what do you have to say about the song?
I find it amazing that they went with they just went full out on this. I know that since this is not so much the season finale, they just went ahead. They just brought in an entire chorus. They went in with a full-on orchestra. They brought in everything in regards to just instruments regarding to various, or I should say, the instruments basically matching the personalities of the pony in general when it comes to their part. Like, for example, the electric guitar when it comes to Rainbow Dash's part in her song. I love how they just blended that all in together.
And they did a good job at it.
This song to me, what do you guys... Matt the Shadow Man made a good point. Great song, but the background music throughout the entire episode went out as well. A lot of things were all out on this episode, but I want to save that for when we wrap the episode up, when we talk about the entirety of the episode. But in my humble opinion, yeah, you guys are basically saying all that I can really say at this point, both the audience and my guests here. One thing I will say, though, about this song is, for the record, that was a 20-man or 20-person choir. So I'm just going to put a number to it. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the episode. What beyond that? What do you guys have to say about that? You can break it up into characters. You can give a more overall aspect. This isn't the episode wrap up that we normally do. But like I said, focus more on the stuff after the song.
Well, it's the capstone of the Gala arc, as I believe many have noticed. That begins with the Ticketmaster, where they get the tickets, and then Suited for Success, when they create the dresses for this gala, and now this one. With the gala itself, of course. And
yeah, I agree. They definitely, if you're going to build it up, you might as well complete it then.
Yes, and I like this idea of a mini arc within the season. It's not really something grand, not really something especially important, but it adds that little extra bit of flavor, maybe, that little extra bit of interest.
I have to slightly disagree on that there, only because of the fact that the Grand Galloping Gala was, or I should say, the tickets introduced in the Ticketmaster were the source of the contention between the characters in that entire episode. And it's basically introduced as this isn't just this isn't just a party. This is the party. This is the big bash for not just Canterlot, but for all of Equestria. You would think that throughout the rest of the season, they would probably put a little bit more effort into probably preparing for this, as opposed to just a slight bit of preparation at the beginning of the episode. And outside of the Ticketmaster, the Grand Galloping Gala was mentioned all of a grand total of what? Twice more before Best Night Ever?
Well,
let's see. Ticketmaster, Suited for Success, and yeah, I suppose those are the only 2 times.
Well, it has to be noted that all the other major events don't get any setup at all. So this is actually pretty big.
But of course, you know, they drive home the point that the Grand Galloping Gala is important. It's not like this was some minor plot point that was just brought up.
Exactly.
In the end, and just kind of either brushed over or just it didn't feel forced. It didn't, you know, suddenly the Grand Galloping Gala and we're supposed to care. You know, 3 and 14 did a good job of conveying the importance of it and keeping it in the back of our heads.
Yeah, I have to say that if it wasn't for episode 3 and episode 14, I would have been probably disappointed with how they ended the season here, because wow, suddenly a big gala and everyone is partying and it's a fancy ball with fancy ponies, fancy dresses. Look at my mane. And well, this here, it's actually set up. We remember about it. We've seen the preparations. So when it does come about, it's expected and it's awaited.
Well, it's just not the only reason I say what I say is that yeah, it does keep it in the back of our minds, but it's just it just seems to me it probably would have been that they could have put just a tiny little bit more emphasis on it, but I don't know. I suppose there has to be a limit between keeping it fresh in your mind and then just beating you over the head with it. So I suppose they did a fairly good job on this. It's not like it's like every episode's a constant reminder that, hey, the gala is coming up, we got to prepare for this. This isn't like a major end-all be-all arc of the whole season in and of itself.
I'm actually glad they didn't care about this gala every single episode because, well, you know, fun and fashion, this sort of thing. That they didn't put so much emphasis on it. It's actually one of the strong points of Pony, that they don't put all this much emphasis on the usual girly stuff, shall we say. I believe that the fact that they didn't care nearly as much as they would have, for example, for some epic confrontation or something, I believe it's actually better that it didn't get so much attention throughout the season. Alright.
Can we kind of just get him out of the way right now? Can we talk about Prince Blue Blood, folks?
Yeah.
He's a dick, pardon my French. and I like him that way, because otherwise he wouldn't have worked.
I agree wholeheartedly. From a writing standpoint, of course he has to be something that does not draw rarity out of the storyline, but just from a characterization standpoint, I think it's just rich, because we expect him to be chivalrous. Heck, he was the first sign that there was trouble in paradise. So here he comes along with being a royal dink, and, well, you get a hilarious outcome, in my humble opinion. You know, maybe it's not funny, but from a more different angle. But my point still stands.
Well, I can add something to this, maybe to the discussion of the episode overall. I think that this episode is... its main theme is broken expectations.
I was hoping to save that.
Yes, both for the ponies and for us, for the audience. We expect Blueblack to be chivalrous, and he turns out to be a royal pain. We expect Fluttershy to have a pleasant walk in the garden with all the animals, and they say, screw Fluttershy, we're out of here. And so on and so forth. And this here fits perfectly with the theme of the episode and...
Alright, so why don't we, since we kind of keep tiptoeing over it, so why don't we just hit it right now, folks? Let's talk about the whole theme of the episode and the episode overall. What do you guys have to say about the whole episode and everything about it?
What's that one phrase? The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry.
Yep, that's I'm assuming it's a more modernized interpretation of it, but the best laid plans go to waste. Same difference. That's the best way of describing this episode.
It's a lesson some of us bronies do have to remember sometimes. Don't expect too much. And don't raise your expectations too high.
Mm-hmm.
Because things can go wrong, or things can go differently, and...
who was it who mentioned... Darn it, I was losing my train of thought there. Someone mentioned... What did they mention? Well, I lost that, and it's going to come back up in about the next topic. Because, yeah, there is one more topic I for sure want to hit before... well, there's for sure one more topic I want to hit. Anyway, what was it I was going to say? Yeah, it's a shattered expectation story. Short, sweet, and to the point, it's a shattered expectation story. Alright, is there a topic you guys want to talk about, by the way? That I hit?
I have to agree with Kendiru's mention right there. Even when things fail spectacularly, at least it can be fun even if things don't go as planned. There has been at least one instance in my life that I know for a fact that I have thought I was going to have a blast, and the whole day just goes completely to hell. But right at the very end, just when I think things couldn't get any worse, that's when I actually find out who my real friends are, and we just make the best of a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's one of the lessons that this episode gives us. Not just what it says, but what it shows.
Again, another good point of show don't tell. Another thing I want to note while I'm thinking of it is how relatable this story is. I think that was my point I was trying to hit, was how relatable this story is. Because, well, you just gave us a point or a case, Mr. Ben, and I'm sure everyone here can attest to that notion of, well, as Sumika put it, man plans, God laughs. The best laid plans go to waste. Everything that we've been saying, everyone here can attest to that at some point in their life.
Yes, this isn't an episode about the gala. It's an episode about a very common situation, actually. The gala is just an example.
I agree, yo. The subjects are not only things. That's one of the best things that I've always loved about this show, yo. And especially when we get into these later seasons, I'm going to be bringing a lot of that stuff up. But you're hitting the nail on the head for a lot of what I'm going to be doing and such in the future. Is one of the strongest suits of this show is the fact that there is continuity to it. It's not, hard episode by episode continuity, but it's not completely discontinuous. It does exactly as you're describing. It basically hits a point and may or may not come back to it later. But yeah, I like what you have to say there.
If it doesn't come back, then okay, it was a good point, and if it does come back, hey, it's continuity.
That too, Matt the Shadow Man. I like that. Oh shit, here comes the more drop screen. or stream.
Drop the stream.
Editing's gonna be fun on this one.
It's not. It's a royal turd to You don't know how annoying it is to put 2 hours worth of video into, getting all those files together and then having to render the bloody thing. It's not fun at all.
Oh, I can believe it.
And then, of course, having to upload it is just as time consuming. But anyway, we're back up. Anyway, we are back. Let us carry on. Let's talk about Fluttershy now, folks. What do you guys have to say about her? And I know you guys, the audience here, we kept hitting that on the head before and before it, both during and after the episode. But let's just get Fluttershy done with right now. What do you guys have to say about her?
We are going to love her.
Go ahead, Tim.
Well, it's actually quite interesting that here she, well, for lack of a better word, flips out and shows us that, well, she's capable of this. That it helps further set her apart from what you could expect from someone like Fluttershy. She's not a pushover. She's not a simple meek, I'll go away and stay in the corner kind of girl. If she gets mad, she gets mad. And if she gets mad, she gets mad big time. And I think that this was one of the parts of her character development this episode. And it brings a deeper sense of dynamism to her. Her development is usually quite like Fluttershy herself. It's quite gradual and quiet and not exactly up in your face. But it happens. And here it's one of the most obvious and bright examples of these developments.
I'm just going to point this out here for anyone who, especially anyone who's been to my Babble with Brony site. If there is one thing I will always thank this episode for, it's Fluttershy's character development here. For those of you who probably, again, have seen it, Putting Your Hoof Down is my favorite Season 2 episode that isn't the finale. So, now mind you, in here, the finale here, Season 1 finale, it's used for more of a comedic effect. But it's still established. And as we were just talking about when it came to continuity, there's one of those examples.
And it will also come up again in later episodes, too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which really makes it incredible that they bring this up again, and not just a passive way. They actually focus on it in a pretty big deal.
It was taken seriously.
Yes.
And I know I'm going to be hitting that topic. I'm going to hit that point again when we get there. But yes, your point is spot on, Mr. Ben. It was taken seriously that time. And that's what I loved so much about it.
That's what Pony likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
It takes things seriously and it makes them work.
Anything else on Fluttershy, guys?
As I mentioned,
come out.
As I mentioned in the chat, the additional lesson I learned from watching this episode is don't mess with her during that time of month. It will not end It will not end well for you. Yes, please feel free to punch me through the screen. I'm sorry.
Falcon, punch! One last thing on that's a Falcon punch for you, guys. Okay, Matt the Shadow Man, elaborate. I want to hear that, or read in this case, but I want to read that. Yeah, I know. It's sorry for waiting on you like this, guys, but hey, when someone brings up a good point, I want to read it or hear it. In your guys' case.
Enchantress and she does evil dances. And if you look her in the eye, she will put you in trances. And what she do?
I'll give him. Sorry, go ahead. So I'll give him another minute.
Double you up in a big tasty stew.
Okay. Okay, so that's roughly what you were aiming at there, Matt the Shadowman. And again, I can't wait till we get to that episode because, well, stuff like this is exactly what I'm referring to. But yeah, we'll save that for when we get there. Okay, the last specific point that I have is on Princess Celestia. What do you guys have to say about her in this episode?
This is something that I was both surprised and not surprised about when it comes to thinking about it. You would think that she probably would have been upset at this from the very beginning, but then she comes out and she explains her reasoning that, you know, hey, this is always this is terrible. I mean, I hate this particular stuffy party that we have year after year, and you're just basically breathing a bit of fresh air into this. And at first I was a little bit confused, but then I remembered she's been through at least 1,000 of these, literally 1,000 of these, or
more or less. It could have started at any point, but yeah, let's pretend a large number like 1,000.
So, and she basically is looking to basically do what. Okay, when my train of thought gets derailed, she's basically just looking to liven things up a bit, and like my friend Crazy Little Pony there in chat says, she is showing that she's not at all, prim and proper and stuffy. This was basically reflecting back on Bird and the Hoof, where she's wanting to basically be a little bit more casual with her subjects, not really so much treating them as subjects from, as a ruler, but just basically wanting to mingle among her own subjects as her own individual, and this being constrained by her own her own formality, just kind of. She's really not given that chance all that often. So, the thing is that since she can't really quite do this by herself, it actually makes sense that she sort of subtly manipulates or, indirectly, I should say, subtly directs things to happen to be of their own accord, even if she's not able to directly influence these events.
Yep.
Something I do want to share, just from a real world perspective. When I first saw this episode, I just could not help but agree with Celestia's reaction, especially the whole, hooray, something or someone in this case came and livened things up. Why do I love that one so much? Well, anyone who's I don't know about those of you who aren't in America, so bear with me on this, but one of the traditions, or at least I'll call it a tradition, here in America is if you graduate high school, you tend to have an open house, wherein it's kind of just as it sounds. You have friends, family, even some strangers, I'll say, but I'll avoid that for formality's sake anyway. You have friends and family of all sorts come to your house to say, congratulations for graduating high school. And anyone who's ever been through that is going to know exactly what I'm going to be talking about here. But for those of you who haven't, let me just put it this way. Celestia is going to be you, the host. That's all you're going to be doing is shaking everyone's hand, saying, hi, welcome to the party. And what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to mingle with your friends. But guess what? By the time you get that chance, here come more guests. And basically all you're waiting for is a break. But it never comes. At all.
Yeah, like Mr. Ben said, she's hosted 1,000 of these, or roughly, perhaps. And well, like Pinkie Pie said, it's boring. By this time, she's seen it all, she's heard it all, and it's this time again, and it's this way every time. And this kind of distraction and this kind of destruction is actually quite welcome, because, well, I don't think that what they caused would be that hard to repair, and it has provided a wonderful distraction for them and dispersed this annoying queue, and Celestia can actually go away and have fun with the main six, for example, at Joe's bar. For her, it's a lifesaver. And yes, I do agree with Mr. Ben here that, and with others in the chat, that Celestia, has a playful side to her. This kind of informal, maybe sometimes a bit childish, but letting her hair down kind of thing. And I love when she does that, because she shows us that this royal facade thing it's not her personality. It's her queenly mask, and she has to wear it for the sake of Equestria.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that, not just with you, but with also Matt the Shadow Man there, because being the, well, not really the soul, but probably the biggest face of authority in all of Equestria, she basically has the power to effectively take her tiara, fling it clear across the room, scream FTS, and basically just go get crat-faced in the party, if you will. And just basically shrug all authority off and just go get completely smashed. But to do that would be to completely disavow any and all responsibility, and that would be not just be completely irresponsible. It would also do possibly irreparable damage to her reputation.
Agreed.
And, for having to cultivate an image for so long that she's been doing this, she's been ruling Equestria for at least 1,000 years since Princess Luna, or Nightmare Moon, was sealed away in the moon. That's a very long time to have to maintain an image, and to just throw that away in the span of a single night. Even, I mean, you have to realize, I mean, there's probably been more than one issue where she's been sorely tempted to do just that. And this would probably have been a welcome blessing, like, where not just her she probably would have welcomed anything, even, like, say, I'm probably going to be getting into a bit of a slight season 2 spoiler here, but well, I don't really want to really go into season 2 since we haven't quite covered it, but just anything to break up the monotony. Just random invasion from, some enemy that we've known that we've never heard from before. Just something to just stir up some excitement, whether it be her student and her ragtag band of friends just causing a bunch of chaos or anything else. And yeah, like what you said, you went right where I was. I didn't want to mention Discord, but yeah,
I'm fine with that. If you're making that kind of point, that's no problem.
Yeah, but yeah, Discord could have escaped, and Celestia could have been relieved that the gala could have just gone to pot, because it just meant that, hey, I don't have to suffer through another one of these.
Hello?
I'm still here.
Okay. Getting another nice crash.
Oh yeah.
Maybe or
settings a little
too much
high,
bandwidth. But 700 is about the low end.
Yeah.
It might be Skype. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, as I was mentioning, you know, like I said, Discord could have been freed, and Celestia could have found that as a welcome distraction. Well, not really a distraction, but just welcome rather than having to sit through and suffer through another one of these boring parties. So.
Well, we're kind of running a little bit out of time here.
Actually, we're kind of running overtime, but I'm not.
Well, we're always running overtime, and I know it's not that bad, but should we just hit this point? And I want to hit this point. Take a look at all these Disney and fairy tale themes that this episode hints at. There's Cinderella, there's Snow White, there's Wizard of Oz. There are several others that I didn't list just because I just didn't feel like it. It was like, okay, we get it kind of thing. But yeah, the carriage and the glass slipper. There's your Snow White references, folks. Your Green Hooves whistling is a I like to whistle while I work. There's your Snow White reference. And then finally, Fluttershy, I'll get you yet, my pretties. There's your Wizard of Oz reference. And yeah, go ahead.
Perhaps as a final thought already, because we're pretty much out of time. But I have to say that, yes, in many ways, this episode was an all-out production. Everyone went all out on it. The composers, both for the sound and for the background music, the animators, except for this tiara case. Few notes, but this tiara actually went and saved the gala by stopping time and going to defeat the villain that was get reinforcements outside Canterlot. And it wasn't in time and had to appear 2 seconds later than it was slated to. This is the unknown heroic of Rarity's tiara. But aside from that, everyone did and the tiara too. Everyone did a great job. The voice actors, well, remember Pinky's voice, remember Rarity's voice, how stellar their performance was. I don't think I need to say much more. They just did a great job here.
Mr. Ben, and this is, go ahead and let's wrap the episode up, folks. We'll talk about the episode overall now. Mr. Ben?
I suppose the point that I want to make could probably be best saved for next week, but I have to admit that whether this is intentional or whether it was an animation error, I have to admit that the Green Hooves, or the old pony, the whistling pony, did not have a cutie mark.
Yep.
And he's obviously old, aged, and thinking, okay, this is kind of interesting, but I'll hold off on that for now. So.
And suddenly it's a plot point to season 7.
There is something I want to bring up concerning the episode overall that I'd think has yet to been missed. If anything, it was tiptoed around. We mentioned how the season 2 opener was supposed to be the finale here. However, I don't hate the fact that this was the season 1 finale. And the reason being is kind of what we were hitting earlier, that it was brought up, it was noted, it was hit on that this is important. It might not seem important in terms of the later seasons when we get to them, but for a season 1 finale, I think this one is just absolutely fantastic for what it's worth. Go ahead.
Looking back on it now, this does work as a season 1 finale. It doesn't really work in, it does work as a finale. It's not my ideal image of a finale, because it does seem to introduce more of a bigger lesson than it does as a review of all the other lessons we've learned thus far throughout the season. But it still works, because not so much of the actual lesson, but of just the sheer effort that it was put into and that it shows throughout the whole episode.
Something else worth I want to bring up. What was it? Darn it. Oh! Here's something worth noting. If we were to put this episode in some other order, but in the correct in terms of continuity order, what would you would that change your perspective on anything concerning this episode?
No. In regards to just like continuity, we already pretty much knew that this was going to be the big bash at the end of the whole arc, because it was already established fairly early on from Ticketmaster that this is basically going to be the one thing that you're going to be looking forward to from pretty much day one. Ticketmaster, from what I remember, was, well, this is going to be going into next week's episode. This is, but anyway, yeah, as it is, it still feels like it could have been expanded on a little bit more, but it works overall. In the end, it does work.
Anything to add to that, Tim?
Well, I don't think that change in its position would have changed much about it, but to me it feels like a crowning sort of episode. To me it feels like a finale for what we have seen in Season 1. And in terms of its moods, in terms of how it feels, in terms of what it brings up, I believe that it makes a good job in its role and its position. It feels right, it feels correct in this place.
I agree. Like I said, it was just a fun thing to think about, but yeah, I agree. As a finale, that's exactly what it should have been. So, any last points I hit or missed, both audience and you guys? Anything I missed and you want to hit before we wrap it up?
Well, I just can say that this episode does a good job of showing maybe the idea or the spirit of Season 1. That's why it works so well as a finale. And I believe that the return of Harmony would have been worse in this role, as encapsulating what we have seen. And the fact that the show did continue after the return of Harmony makes it that what we have seen in this episode, in The Best Night Ever, into continuity for future episodes. It's kind of like modular planning, and I believe it works to the opponent's benefit. They planned ahead.
Thank goodness they did.
Yep.
All right. Any last words?
Dennis Rodman.
Damn it. I should have known.
You're right, Princess.
So you've been working for me since working with me since like November 2011. If you don't,
Freudian slip.
You should have gotten used to me by now, man.
I know. Okay, let's finish this up here. Where do I want to start? Something worth noting, folks, is as far as I know, I don't foresee something I missed early on. I don't foresee me. I foresee nothing but stream after stream. I don't foresee any Sundays where I'm not going to be available to stream for quite some time. That can change, of course, but thankfully there should be no more Sundays off that I can foresee for a long time. Next week, join us here for
Pony.
For Matt. Your bit though was kind of the point. that's why I didn't want to hit on it again, was because I feel that you hit the nail on the head, and it was just kind of, we'd just be repeating ourselves at that point. And I try to avoid repeating ourselves because, well, obviously. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, join us next week for when we do a Season 1 wrap-up. As I said, we're going to be looking at, you know how we do the episodes overall? At the end of it, we'll say, so this episode overall is good, it's bad, blah, 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 blah. That's what we're going to be doing with Season 1, looking at it as a whole. Like I said, this will be time for you guys to ask me questions, I'll ask you questions. Basically, if it has something to do with Season 1 or very early Season 2, we'll hit it. Otherwise, and you know, I said other things concerning Season 1, or the next episode. But we'll get there when we get there, and we'll plan it all out and all that fun jazz. So come by, it's complete discussion, we'll have fun. Other than that, that's all I have to say.
Season wrap-up. That's what it'll be.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ben?
I'm just more focused on the fact that one of my good friends just completely derailed the topic conversation in there.
Alright. Then, for Babble with Bronies, I am Everlasting Joy, and my co-workers, TwilightIsMagic.
And Mr. Ben.
Well, I was going to give Tim a chance to say something.
Oh, go take it away.
Too bad. I just did.
Okay. Sorry.
Twilight is magic. Remember that.
Alright. For all of us here at Babble with Bronies, we want to thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you next Sunday, and until then, take care.
And enjoy your corn.
And before I'm going to cut off,